The Golden Bridge in Vietnam consistently ranks high on global travel bucket lists. While the panoramic view is breathtaking, it's the colossal stone hands that truly steal the spotlight, appearing to cradle the bridge above the lush Bana hills. Though these hands are purely ornamental, they've catapulted the structure into viral fame, making it one of the most photographed destinations in Southeast Asia. In 2001, the world's first tilting bridge rose to fame in Gateshead, England. Known as the Millennium Bridge, it performs about 200 mesmerizing tilts annually, each one pulling in curious crowds. When it tilts, its sweeping arches angle skyward, earning it the nickname Winking Eye Bridge. The spectacle once drew an extreme cyclist who dared to ride across mid-motion, turning engineering into adrenaline. When a bridge links two nations, it doesn't just connect, it commands attention. The Øresund Bridge between Denmark and Sweden makes its mark with a staggering total length of 16 kilometers, including a 4-kilometer underwater tunnel. Carrying both road and railway traffic, it stands as the longest combined road and rail bridge in Europe, an engineering marvel that dives beneath the sea before surfacing into international land. Clinging to the cliffs of Mount Hua in China, this infamous trail dares adventurers to step into history and onto the Death Trail. Originally built in the 13th century by a monk seeking access to sacred shrines, the plank path snakes along sheer rock faces thousands of feet above ground. Though modern safety ropes offer some protection, the absence of guardrails still leaves hearts pounding and legs trembling with every step. It's a walk that tests courage as much as balance. The Rui Bridge in China might not top the charts for height or length, but its jaw-dropping design steals the show. With interwoven curves inspired by ancient Chinese jade talismans, this two-tiered marvel twists through the air like a piece of futuristic art. It's not just a bridge, it's a photographer's dream, drawing visitors for its surreal architecture and dizzying perspective. Towering over a 260-meter chasm, the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge in China redefines what it means to walk on air. Currently the highest glass-bottom bridge in the world, it offers an unforgettable and unnerving view straight down to the canyon floor. Just a few layers of tempered glass separate visitors from the drop, each panel forged from 3 sheets, 5 centimeters thick. It's an architectural dare that invites thrill-seekers to step into the void and snap a selfie while doing it. High in the Austrian Alps, the suspension bridge at the Dachstein ski resort might seem modest until you realize where it stands. Perched atop a glacier at 2,700 meters above sea level, this engineering marvel can hold up to 800 people at once. But its most jaw-dropping feature is the Stairway to Nothingness, a 14-step extension that juts dramatically into the void. On clear days, the view from the edge is pure cinematic beauty, blending ice, sky, and sheer altitude into one breathtaking panorama. Perched high above the rugged terrain of Myanmar, the Gotaig Viaduct stands as a relic of colonial ambition and a triumph of engineering. Built over 125 years ago by the British to solidify control in the region, it was once the tallest railway trestle on Earth. Stretching 689 meters across a deep gorge and rising 102 meters above the valley floor, the viaduct still commands awe. Trains crawl across it at a cautious pace, not just for safety, but to give passengers time to take in the dramatic scene: tropical foliage clinging to steep cliffs, a rushing river below, and the sheer drop just beyond the rails. Even today, Spain's Vizcaya Bridge looks like a blueprint pulled from the future. Built in 1893, it was the world's first transporter bridge, and it still outlasts many of the modern marvels it once inspired. Its gondola system shuttles 6 vehicles and dozens of passengers across the Nervion River in just 90 seconds. The machinery may be vintage, but its impact is timeless, blending history, innovation, and motion into one unforgettable ride. In Uruguay, engineers transformed the Laguna Gozón crossing into a true landmark, and it's nothing short of spectacular. The Gozón Bridge doesn't just dazzle visually, it's a triumph of safety and design. Its unique circular layout cleverly separates opposing traffic, dramatically reducing the risk of collisions. There's a speed limit in place, but most drivers aren't racing across. Instead, they ease into the curve, soaking in the serene views of water and sky wrapped around them. High in the Austrian Alps, thrill-seekers ascend yet another skybound marvel, the Stairway to Heaven. Rising more than 2,000 meters above sea level, this narrow staircase clings to the rugged mountainside, daring climbers to brave the heights. As you scale each step, the reward unfolds, panoramic views of the Dachstein Glacier and a breathtaking glimpse of Austria's tallest peak, the Großglockner. It's a vertical journey that blends fear with awe. Unlike most bridges that span across rivers or valleys, a viaduct connects 2 elevated points, bridging air instead of water. In 2004, France unveiled the Mille Viaduct, an engineering wonder that still holds the title of the tallest bridge in the world. Soaring 341 meters above the Tarn Valley, it even surpasses the Eiffel Tower in height. Stretching a total of 2,460 meters, the viaduct uses a cable-stayed design, where sleek pylons and taut steel cables suspend the road deck like a floating ribbon. It's not just a passage, it's a monument to modern engineering. A stroll across London's bridges can imprint memories that last a lifetime. And before your first step, you might find yourself reaching for your camera. These crossings are anything but ordinary. 2 of them stand out with their futuristic flair. One unfurls like a spiral sculpture, its sections curling open with striking precision. The other expands like a giant metal fan, its segments swinging into place to form a sleek pathway across the Thames. More than just functional, they're kinetic works of art. The Veluwemeer Aqueduct in the Netherlands looks like something dreamed up by artificial intelligence, but it's all human ingenuity. Completed in 2002, this engineering gem allows boats to sail directly over a bustling highway, as cars pass quietly beneath. By submerging the road and elevating the waterway, the aqueduct flips expectations and creates a seamless, surreal experience that turns infrastructure into art. Rising from the waves as if out of nowhere, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel is full of secrets. Stretching more than 28 kilometers, it links mainland Virginia to the eastern edge of the Delmarva Peninsula, combining 6 bridges, 4 man-made islands, and 2 underwater tunnels into one jaw-dropping corridor. That's right, part of the journey dips beneath the bay itself. And despite its futuristic vibe, this marvel was built back in 1964, proving that bold engineering is timeless. Next up is a true record breaker from the Czech Republic. Stretching 721 meters in length and suspended 95 meters above the valley floor, Sky Bridge 721 claims the title of the longest pedestrian suspension bridge on Earth. Built to span a mountain stream in the Kraliki SNNK range, this architectural feat invites thrill-seekers to walk the line, literally, between fear and awe. Every step is a test of nerve, with the forested slopes falling away beneath your feet and panoramic views waiting at the other side. Stretching wide across China like a concrete river, the 50-lane highway connecting Beijing to Zhuhai is one of the busiest on Earth. Originally built to manage 20,000 vehicles per day, it was already handling double that by 2007. And during peak seasons, especially after Chinese New Year, this asphalt leviathan grinds to a halt under the weight of homebound travelers. The toll workers? Let's just say their nerves deserve a monument. It's gridlock on a legendary scale, where patience becomes the most valuable fuel. Built in 1929, the Brookport Bridge between Kentucky and Illinois once stood as a proud symbol of progress. Today, it's more of a test of patience and precision. With narrow lanes and a grated metal deck, even passenger cars struggle to pass comfortably, let alone larger vehicles. Trucks are practically boxed out, and the lack of shoulder space forces oncoming traffic into unnervingly close quarters. It's a bridge frozen in time, where every crossing feels like threading the needle between history and hassle. Built in 1345, Florence's Ponte Vecchio has witnessed centuries of history flowing beneath its arches. Once lined with butcher shops, its corridors took a glittering turn in the 1500s when jewelers claimed the space and stayed for generations. That's why it's often called the Golden Bridge. But Ponte Vecchio isn't just a crossing, it's a living neighborhood suspended above the Arno River, where commerce, architecture, and tradition walk side by side. China's bridges don't just break records, they redefine them. In Tianjin, the iconic Tianjin Eye rises above the Yongle Bridge, making it the only large Ferris wheel in the world built directly over a bridge. With a diameter of 110 meters and a height of 120 meters, this engineering marvel offers panoramic views of the city from enclosed, air-conditioned capsules. Each full rotation takes about 30 minutes, giving riders a slow, soaring glimpse of Tianjin's skyline and the winding Hai River below. In Switzerland, stunning landscapes are never far, but few rival the view from the Trift Bridge. Suspended 100 meters above the turquoise waters of Trift Sea, this pedestrian bridge offers one of the most breathtaking panoramas in the Alps. Originally built in 2004 to help a local energy company access remote areas, it was later upgraded and opened to the public in 2009. With its Nepal-inspired suspension design and dramatic glacier backdrop, the Trift Bridge isn't just a crossing, it's a destination. And keeping that kind of beauty hidden? That would have been a crime against nature. In 1978, a powerful earthquake shattered a mountain road in Japan's Aizu Peninsula. To reconnect the route, engineers designed a bold solution, the Kawazu Nanadaru Loop Bridge. Completed in 1981, this double-spiral structure stretches just over a kilometer and rises 45 meters above the valley floor. Its corkscrew design allows vehicles to climb or descend steep terrain safely, with a speed limit of 40 km per hour to keep the ride smooth and scenic. Today, it's a favorite among travelers who cruise the spiral slowly, soaking in panoramic views of forested slopes and waterfalls below. A pessimist might say this bridge looks half-finished. But for thrill seekers, that's exactly the point. Suspended high above the ground, reportedly over 12,000 meters, though that figure may be exaggerated, it dares adventurers to cross with only narrow wooden planks beneath their feet. One infamous example is the Hussaini Hanging Bridge in Pakistan, often called the world's most dangerous. With missing boards and swaying cables, it's less a walkway and more a test of nerve. Every step is a gamble, and every gust of wind adds to the adrenaline. The Gulch Viaduct in Germany is a towering tribute to 19th century engineering brilliance. Inaugurated in 1851, it remains the largest brick-built bridge in the world, constructed from over 26 million bricks. Standing 78 meters tall and stretching 574 meters across the Gulch Valley, this railway viaduct was designed to connect Saxony and Bavaria, not Dresden and Nuremberg directly, but it's part of the Leipzig-Hof line that links those regions. Most impressive of all? It's still in active use, carrying trains across its 98 arches like clockwork, nearly 2 centuries after its debut. In Singapore, one bridge stands out not just for its beauty, but for its biology. The Helix Bridge, completed in 2010, was inspired by the double helix structure of human DNA, a nod to the fundamental blueprint of life. Its stainless steel spirals twist gracefully over Marina Bay, blending science with art. And when dusk falls, the bridge comes alive in a dazzling display of LED lights, casting vibrant colors across the water and turning every stroll into a futuristic experience. Nicknamed Betebu Mizaka, or Pedal to the Metal Slope, Japan's Eshima Ohoshi Bridge looks like a roller coaster for cars. But don't let the photos fool you. The gaps in its structure and the use of telephoto lenses create a jaw-dropping optical illusion, making the incline appear nearly vertical. In reality, the slope is gentle enough that drivers barely notice it while crossing. It's a bridge that tricks the eye, not the engine. The Sarthe Canal Bridge in Belgium looks like an artificial river suspended in midair, and in a way, it is. Part of the Canal du Centre, it links the Meuse and Scheldt river basins, allowing boats to glide over highways and valleys without interruption. Stretching 498 meters long and 46 meters wide, this engineering marvel holds over 4 meters of water depth and weighs a staggering 65,000 tons. Built with post-tension concrete and launched into place using hydraulic jacks, it's not just a bridge, it's a floating river that defies gravity and redefines infrastructure. Only a madman would dare to cross Russia's Kwandinsky Bridge, and some still do. This half-finished railway bridge stretches 570 meters across the icy Vitim River in Siberia, with no guardrails, no safety barriers, and barely enough width for a single car. Traffic was officially banned in 2016, especially after ice damaged parts of the structure. But that hasn't stopped extreme adventurers from testing their nerve, sometimes even in trucks. With rotting wooden planks, slick surfaces, and bone-chilling winds, it's less a bridge and more a dare. One wrong move, and it's a plunge into the frozen abyss. Inspired by the elegance of sailing ships, this pedestrian bridge is anything but ordinary. Designed with movable platforms that shift and rise like sails catching wind, it adapts to the needs of passing boats. For smaller vessels, the bridge gently lifts sections to allow safe passage. And when larger ships approach, the entire structure can pivot or retract, transforming from walkway to waterway in a graceful mechanical dance. It's a fusion of maritime tradition and modern engineering, where form follows function with flair. At first glance, Copenhagen's Lille Langebro might seem like just another sleek pedestrian and cycling bridge. But when a boat approaches, the entire structure comes to life. Designed as a double-swing bridge, its two curved sections pivot open in perfect symmetry, allowing marine traffic to glide through the city's inner harbor. Completed in 2019, this steel ribbon not only connects neighborhoods, it choreographs movement, blending urban mobility with architectural grace. Shanghai's Nanpu Bridge is more than just a crossing, it's a spiral masterpiece. Known for its dramatic circular approach ramp on the Puxi side, this cable-stayed bridge transforms into a stunning highway interchange that coils like a concrete dragon. Opened in 1991, it stretches over 8 kilometers and connects key districts across the Huangpu River. But its true magic emerges at night, when city lights trace its curves and turn the structure into a glowing ribbon of motion. Often ranked among the world's most beautiful bridges, Nanpu is where infrastructure meets urban art. The Slauerhoofbrug in Leeuwarden, Netherlands, often called the flying drawbridge, was clearly designed to astonish. At first glance, it looks like a piece of road levitating above the canal. But when a boat approaches, the magic happens. A massive hydraulic arm lifts a 15 by 15 meter section of the bridge straight into the air, allowing vessels to pass below. Painted in the yellow and blue of the city's flag, this fully automatic bascule bridge isn't just functional, it's a kinetic sculpture that turns infrastructure into performance art. In the village of Linxia, China, one bridge stands out as a masterclass in tourism-driven design. Stretching 400 meters across the water, this pedestrian bridge isn't just a crossing, it's a destination. Built to attract visitors, it features a vibrant mix of Chinese and European architectural styles, with shops and buildings lining its span like a floating marketplace. Locals call it East meets West, and for good reason. It's a cultural fusion that turns infrastructure into an immersive experience.